So here we are, everything is dried. What I did is last night, before I went to bed, I just double checked on this. I'm glad I did. The sides here, the gable ends had warped a bit more, so I overnight what I did is I clamped it in a vise. I used a couple of pound coins as supports here, so I pushed it back in so it's actually sitting flush now, but the roof is connected, so we're almost there. All of the cladding is on, which is good. I'm not sure if you'll be able to pick this up, but I've actually started scoring the wood grain in. So the panels also had to add a little bit under here, like a half depth or half width cladding piece under there. And now what I'm going to do, one of these sides hasn't been scored yet, so I'm just going to, using my cuticle cutters, but I just use them for snipping, just go along and score the wood grain in. And then we'll give it a watered down PVA coating, wait for that to dry, and spray. So here we go. Okay, so the building is all scored, everything's done, so we're just going to add a layer of PVA just to seal everything. So what I've used here is just wood, Poundland wood PVA, Vallejo, I don't know, this is Army Painter actually, wood brown. I would have used the burnt umber, but I've left it somewhere. Bit of water. Check the consistency. So because we're going to do this red, I wanted a bit of more of a red tone to the wood that we use to seal it. I think I've got a lump of PVA in it. Need to get some more. Get a new bottle, I think. That's a bit more like it. Okay. Just going to seal this. Okay. Still a bit too watery. That'll be right. It's just the paint that's a bit runny. I don't really want to tip my whole bottle in there, so that's fine. We'll go over it with a layer of that burnt umber. I'll go find it. Do it properly. At least I can see where I've done with this. Okay, so another day has passed. Where are we up to now then? What I did yesterday was I just finished up some final touches. I sprayed it just with Army Painter Fur Brown, just because it's got a bit of a red tinge to it. This is now dried overnight. Okay, I've also tested out some washes on there which are still drying, but I'll go back over this. Just wanted to see how it worked with the wood grain. What I do need to do is sand this all down. There are just little bits that are sticking out on the edges and on the front from where I've scored it, so I'm going to sand this all back so it's nice and smooth, and then we're going to go on with the first coat of the paints that we're going to use, which I'm going to go for a corn red, then dry brush Mephiston red, and then I think for some chipping and the edges we'll go to Sandry Dust, or maybe Steel Legion Trap. We'll see how we go on. But first, sandpaper, sand it. Okay, so now we are ready. Put the first layer of paint on. Like I said, I'm going to go for Memphis Red. I'm not going to water it down or thin it down. I don't think, just because the wood is absorbing a lot of the paint. I should really get a paint shaker. I'm still living in the absolute stone age. This is probably one of the first paints I bought as well, so I need to just really replace it. It's getting a bit thick. Okay, so we have, what I did was I scored the tiles on the top at the end, and then I've gone back over them with the fur brown army painter, and then went back over it again with the corn red, just to try and fill in some of those gaps. I think it looks like the gaps are lighter just because of the contrast between the fur brown and the corn red, so I thought it was unpainted, but I think it's actually just the contrast. But we've got some bits. It does look more filled in now, which is good. So we're going to start dry brushing with the Fiston Red. Okay, so we've left this to dry. I did all the dry brushing yesterday. We've put a Agrax Earthshade wash on it just to bring out some of the wood grain. When it gets some better lighting, really can't see that. I highlight the edges with white, and then I Agrax Earthshade those. So we're going to go back over them, just bring that white back out again, and then we're pretty much done. I created a little door as well to go in here, and then we'll make up some snow paste. We'll put that on the roof, waiting for the windows to arrive. And we're almost there.